Okay, today we're going to talk about uncountable nouns. Right, uncountable nouns. Before we do that, I think we need to define the term noun. Noun, what nouns are. We commonly know nouns of the things referring to objects, or words referring to objects, persons, but also abstractions or situations. So, for example, a noun could be a table, that's an object, persons, a boy, abstractions, love, a situation, an accident. Another way of defining nouns is that it usually you're able to either pluralize it or singularize it. So you can have many of the nouns can either be singular, plural, or both. For example, the word table, one table, two tables, one boy, two boys. Love, however, is singular, but accident is also singular. But the difference from a noun and a verb is that we are able in our mind to count them, and more importantly, we are always able to place the definite article the, and sometimes also a or an, the indefinite articles a or an. This was a very short overview of what a noun is. Next slide is going to focus on what uncountable nouns are. Uncountable nouns. What many people use to define this as the definition, they say that an uncountable noun is not separated into different smaller elements or items, cannot be divided into different elements, which essentially means that we don't consider them, we don't count them. For example, the word furniture. Within the word furniture, so furniture is one element. Within that element of furniture we have, for example, chairs, beds, tables, bookshelves, etc. But the word furniture is not divided in different smaller elements. It's one concept in a sense. This means that an uncountable noun is not divided into different elements and should be considered as one entity. It means that it's not, cannot, no, wrong again. That it means that it cannot be counted. As you may see, I'm quoting the word counted because it's not really true that we can't count an uncountable word, such as furniture. But we do consider it as one entity, which means that we're not able to place, cannot place numbers in front of the word. So, for example, we have the word furniture. Going to make space for other things to write here. The word furniture. Another word would be information. That's also uncountable. Money. Love. Knowledge. Okay, all of these are uncountable, which means that we don't count them. Essentially saying that we do not place numbers in front of them. So you don't say a furniture or an information or two monies. What we do, we substitute that with other words. So, for example, you say a piece of furniture, or we say some information. Any money, much love. A little knowledge. As you see, we don't count them as such using numbers, but we do count them in terms of viewing them in considering them as entities, but they can be plural and singular depending on what words we're using. Since we don't really count them and consider them as one entity, they should always be treated as singular objects, singular words. Therefore, we need singular verbs. So, for example, the news is on TV. We have the uncountable noun and the verb. The verb is singular and the uncountable noun is singular. Okay, so let's try to summarize what we've been saying here. Uncountable nouns are, first of all, are considered one element, which means that they are always singular and we don't use numbers to classify them. We use other words, so they essentially not counted. Now, there are different types, and we can many times the uncountable nouns differ from language to language, but I usually use the three categories. One is substances. And the other is abstract nouns. Oops. Abstract nouns. Just abstract nouns. And then the last one would be collective nouns. Substances, as you may see, deals with words that are liquidized. So, for example, milk. We don't count milk. Milk is a substance. The same with B or gas. So we don't say 2 milks, we say 2 cartons of milk. We don't really say 2 beers, even though people may use it in spoken language, but what we intend is 2 glasses of beer, or 2, whatever it is. So substances, and then abstract nouns, things we don't really, that are not concrete, we can't really touch them or see them even. Words such as love, hatred, friendship, when we talk about money, we talk about news, knowledge, information, etc., etc. So the opposite to something abstract is something concrete, which is something we can really see or touch, and abstractions are, well, not visible, or we can't touch them with our hands. Collective nouns deal with words that are well, things, I guess, that are part of a greater mass. Sugar, or rice. Oops. Cattle. Luggage. So, for example, the word luggage here. Luggage consists of several suitcases. Cattle consists of several different animals, cows, and that 100 cows becomes the cattle of the farmer. The same with the example we used before, furniture. Furniture. Okay, we'll have to redo that. Furniture consists of chairs, beds, bookshelves, couches, sofas, tables, television sets, etc. And all of those become the furniture in the house. So that's a good way or an effective strategy to see what words may or may not be uncountable. Okay, so uncountable nouns. Like I said before, we use other ways to count them, words such as a loaf, oops, a loaf of bread instead of one bread, a glass or a cup of coffee, a piece of something, or much of something, not many, but much, some, and they are always singular. Some of these uncountable nouns, though, they end with an S and are still considered singular, usually subjects, such as mathematics. You see it ends with an S, or physics. They are, however, still uncountable and singular. The same with words such as United States. Ends with an S. Should be plural, but since it is an uncountable noun, it's singular. I'm going to give you guys a list here. Oops. Examples of uncountable nouns. Advice, a piece of advice, a piece of evidence, cash, business, homework, information, furniture, knowledge, money, news, progress, bread, cutlery, etc. Cutlery, for example, is a word that belongs to the category of collective category. Spoons, forks, knives, all of them add up to cutlery. An abstract noun like health, we can't touch it, we can't see it, we talk about it. Same with technology, unemployment, violence, confidence. Whereas furniture, cattle, furniture are collective nouns that are uncountable. Okay, hopefully this presentation helps you understanding the notion of uncountable nouns.